Okay. 29th of April 2025. I'm just gonna open this recording and just just record what I would be like ranting about, like talking about, and edit them into a video. So this may be a various different video, not just one. Unless they they make sense, they make cohesive sense, and context. There's enough context for everything to be tied together into one video. But that would be like what, a recording of like 4 hours, because I don't think I can do more than that. And got edited down to like what, 20 minute, 30 minute. I'm not gonna be talking like constantly. I would talk, but not constantly. So from here on out, it's just gonna be me randomly talking about stuff. If I don't talk, I just cut them out, so you can hear me talk again. And if it doesn't make sense, or missing the context, then don't worry. It's supposed to be like that. It's intentional, basically. I just had a noodle, and I was wondering about something, because back when I was like a junior high, like middle schooler, every breakfast, almost every breakfast, is either an egg or instant noodle. It's a lot more convenient because I wake up really late in the morning back then. My mom wouldn't have time to actually like preparing actual food. My dad is, well, let's just say that my dad is not exactly a chef in the house. I remember the time he burned the sticky rice because he took us to like a nearby market and leave the stove on or something. Not stove, it's more like it's kind of like one of those that, you need to put coal inside them so you can grill, or like, heat things up. That is beside the point that I'm trying to make here. But basically, I was wondering how much sodium I consumed when I was a teenager. I think I was about like preteen, or like like puberty. How do you call it? Puberty, 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 right? Puberty, yeah, puberty. And I would have instant noodle pretty much every morning. If it's not instant noodle, it's gonna be like fried, right? Not fried rice. If it's not instant noodle, it would be fried egg, scrambled eggs. I don't really get much option for that. Eating instant noodle like regularly, almost like your everyday meal, is not healthy. Not healthy at all. I know this because I just ate one noodle and I feel bad right now. Like my stomach's like rumbling. Even though I had a proper dinner. Well, not proper dinner. I asked for like fried chicken and sticky rice, but they are nowhere to be sold anywhere. Last evening, last dinner. So I had like this. It's called in Thailand. It's called kai pop. So it's basically just a chicken, maybe tenders, kind of like nugget, somewhat. And you pretty much say fried it with flour and with flour. Why flour? Flour. Flour? Yeah, it's flour. Yeah, not flour. Not flour, it's flour. Well, whatever. I just had like a barbecue topping and cheese topping. They're very delicious, but not very fulfilling to my stomach. And it has some skewer dry squid. Anyway, the point is I didn't eat all that much for the energy that I want for tonight. I did write a little bit, but it's been a long time ever since last time I actually do some script writing. It's difficult getting back into the old mode. Anyway, so I decided to eat instant noodle because I was like hungry. Those are not fulfilling, and now I'm even more hungry because the instant noodle is full of sodium, and I think my body is starting to like reject it. It's kind of like one of those antibiotics. It become like resistant to certain chemical and stuff like that. I'm not a doctor. I don't have a degree yet. But even if I do, I would have like what psychological degree in like psychology. I'm kind of broke, so that's all I can eat. Though I do eat normally during sometime really during lunch and dinner because there's cheap food around here in the area and we can afford it. There's not really any food bank around at this area. I don't even know if there's any food bank at all. The only thing that is very much close to food bank would be like the temple. It would be like a Buddhist Buddhist temple, and the monk would share food with you if you can't afford food. It's pretty weird, but I guess that's how things are. I'm not a religious person, but that kind of kindness it stuck with me because I had some like sticky rice from a monk with some curry, so it's pretty good. If you haven't had curry with sticky rice before, I suggest try it because why not? They usually serve with, the typical curry. They usually serve with, plain white rice. But you can always like modify them and just turn them into anything you wanna, have on. And there's so many type of curry in Thailand. And being the country that is usually not usually, but I would say, even though the majority is, just people from Siam and Thailand, just Thai people, it's kind of like the USA of Southeast Asia because we have a lot of immigrant to build this country. It's called Thailand because Thai mean freedom. But yeah, a lot of immigrant move here, especially because all daily wage, yes, not hourly wage, is daily in Asia, is much higher than the surrounding country, like in Myanmar or Cambodia, Laos. A lot of workers come to Thailand just to work, and not just for that. It's also for healthcare. We have a system of free healthcare here. As long as you have a permit and like permit to work or like to live, to become a resident of Thailand, even temporarily, you can have like a privilege, basically just getting free healthcare. You go to your doctor and you don't have to pay anything. But if you work and you don't have like that kind of privilege, it's still worth it because in a country, it's not as advanced in China. I'm not saying like they like slow like in technology or stuff like that. But that's just the truth of it. The the medication, the mental, not mental, the hospital care is not as good as in, let's say, like Bangkok. There's a few places that you can go to work and receive the benefit of a worker permit, right? Maybe Vietnam, maybe um, Singapore, Indonesia. It's just that Thailand is much more easier to work with, and it's kind of cheap live there. Depends on where you live. If you go for Bangkok to like do some work in there, yeah, you're gonna get paid a lot. It's the capital country after all, but you're gonna pay a lot too if you wanna stay there. I don't live near Bangkok, so everything around me has been kind of cheap, considering I'm using US like dollars, from like donation and sometime from my friend. So I'm glad that you know had the chance to live in this country and just not worry too much about healthcare because it's free. It's only become a problem when you need to have like surgery or you have to stay at the hospital. I think it was covered by my father or mom or my mother. My little brother, he had like a heart issue. He needed a pacemaker to keep him alive. And from the last checkup, my mother said that he need that thing like at all time because his own heart like doesn't beat itself anymore. How do I put this? People have heartbeat, right? But in this case, the heart doesn't beat unless the pacemaker told them like to beat or they beat it for them. I don't know how this works. But yeah, in the future, there's gonna be like another surgery. He has to pay for his own surgery, which I don't think is gonna be hard because he's an artist. He should know his way to make money and stuff like that. Good friend. But if it's possible, I kinda wanna help too. I don't want him to just shouldering that burden for like alone forever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I probably have to cut these into part because I don't think it make any consistency. Like I talk about like money and now like I talk about healthcare and then just spiral down into like chaos. Split into parts so people can actually watch it and not just like sit still and just goes through all my life rambling. I'll add some music later into the video, so don't worry. How the hell did this become like a talking topic? Do I like my mind wander like this all the time? I kind of just sit there and just record and just talk. No script, by the way. This is all improvisation. This is all like free form, like freestyling. I'm raw dogging this one. And yes, I do know what that means. It would be kind of funny if they tried to be like, oh, I don't know what that means. Try to act innocent, you know? Yeah, I could do that. Like, can you imagine a stream and I have like a friend to play game with, and they would make like jokes that only adult get, and we're like, I don't know what that mean, and they would be like, oh, okay, I'll explain this to you, or maybe they'll be like, oh no, oh no, how could you not know? You're like old enough, right? And I'm gonna pretend to be like a baby because I don't know what that means, and they have to explain it. And that's the fun part. They have to explain it without with a straight face, without breaking character. I think the best thing about that is that the moment they break their character is the funniest thing ever. I'm kind of glad that I can pull off like a innocent character, I guess. Not really innocent, just pretend to be innocent. I wouldn't call myself the most mature person in a group, but in terms of things that I don't know, there's a lot of I don't know. Things that I know is so low compared to my friends. So technically speaking, I'm quite innocent on technical term. On practical term, hell no, I'm not innocent. But I used to be like voice crack. Not voice crack. That's like pitch just change. But anyway, back in the days, I would be pretty innocent. I mean, I know I've seen some fucked up shit. I be on the internet for like what, a decade now. So of course I know what the internet is like. But it's not just that. There are certain things that only my friend or my family would know. I somewhat have that innocence in me. The kind of, wandering, dreaming, thinking about the future, and just face absurdity. It's crazy. Going through all my life and still have that kind of spark in my life is it's kind of rare these days. It's just very simple. What is this? Bro, you start beating lolicon allegation. My friend, who is an avid fan of Loli, just sent me a gift, and it's a tiny Loli. It's more of a sheepy, not Loli. Yeah, it's a sheepy waving a glow stick. For some reason, when I zoom on it, it's stacking.